Hey everyone, happy 2026 and welcome to Portfolio Profits podcast. I'm Megan Wise here and I'm hosting with my dear friend Shannon Gilbert. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Shannon Gilbert and the Gilbert team had their best year ever in 2025, just like most of Keller Williams portfolio realtor brokers. And what's really exciting is on January 1st, after I think maybe 20 years of collab, we have merged with the Gilbert Group and have onboarded them to be full-time broker team here at Keller Williams Portfolio. So talking about why we did that and how excited we are about that, and our culture has just exploded just because we love having an attitude of abundance. And Gilbert Group and her team has been in the business for almost 20 years, working alongside of us with that kind of attitude of abundance. So we are here just to kind of chit chat about that and talk about your needs as you grow and
Yes.
expand your team. But quick side note, I know that Shannon and I are huge Purdue fans.
Yes.
Born and raised, went to Purdue. We love our Purdue Boilermakers, but I'm wearing red today in honor of our IU Hoosier football team. So we are hopeful that they bring that win here on Monday. And we always talk about culture in all of our time together and how culture can create community, which creates relationships, which creates profitability. So here for us, like we like to mimic what IU's doing, and I love that everyone's on the bandwagon for IU, and I am now too. Shannon, what do you feel about it all?
It's still hard for me, mainly because I'm probably not into sports like other
Yeah.
people are. And so Purdue is just always going to be my number one.
Yes.
But you have definitely moved over to the other side. I saw the red tinsel in your
I know,
hair
I
the
can't
other
believe
night.
it.
And
Inspired by my daughter, I got some red tinsel. I didn't even know this was a thing, but new year, new me, and let's get this 2026 energy going. So here I am in my red, supporting our Hoosiers. Let's go. And here today, Shannon and I are just going to talk about what we've seen in the industry and our market here in the micro market here in Fishers, Hamilton County specifically, and then also like what we see globally, and then how we feel like we have been able to team up together to help and inspire the next generation who inspire us too, right?
yes, absolutely.
So tell us, you had the best year ever managing and running High Garden.
I did.
Here in
Yes.
Fishers. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I was managing broker of the Fishers office almost 7 years. Had my own team out of there and also had agents that worked underneath me just in the office setting. It was a big decision for me to come over. I guess I realized after all these years, like, who did I call when I did have questions, when I needed help in that luxury market, when I needed advice on things. Like, you were always someone that was Johnny on the spot, ready to answer the phone.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't help me, you found someone that could.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the main things that kind of pulled me over here.
Yeah.
And then what I've seen once I started meeting more of the agents is that doesn't just lay at the surface.
Yeah.
So it just seems like everybody that I met has the same type of personality and drive that I'm looking for.
I love that. We talked a couple days ago about her best year ever, and many of us had that in 2025. And it's funny because online and social media says how bad the market was in 2025. We didn't experience that.
No.
So we just think it's really careful and cautious of everyone to think what you're reading and what you're watching online. Call a trusted expert. Shannon and I have been doing real estate together side by side since 2008. We've seen every type of market. We've trained agents together. We call each other for help. And now to be partners here at Keller Williams Portfolio is like really exciting for us. And what we've seen, like distractions like Zillow and Realtor.com. But at the end of the day, I think all of these different pieces come together, and real estate is still relational.
100%.
That's
Yes.
how we have found our success.
Right.
Right. We only care about making sure our client's investment is protected and investing in ourselves now.
Right.
Too, right.
Yes.
So here today, we are really calling out because we are profitable. We are leaking leads, and Shannon's team needs buyer's agents, dedicated buyer's agents that are ready to work.
Yes.
Right. Tell us a little bit about your need there.
So basically, I do have a lead generating system. It's a system that I've mastered over the last 15 years. I partnered with some of the biggest gurus, obviously Zillow in 2010, and I've never, that relationship has been very important to me because it's helped me give other agents the opportunity to grow
Yeah.
in an atmosphere that they didn't
Sure.
think they could.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I've enjoyed a lot is not only taking my clients from where they are into where they want to go, but seeing the agents be able to do that too.
Yeah.
And so, my lead gen has given me that opportunity. With the shift, I definitely, I mean, I came over here for multiple different reasons, but one of them is to grow in a different way that I've been doing and to be around other agents that are doing it maybe a little bit differently than I've been taught in the way that I've been running.
Yeah.
But I'll never give up that lead gen because it's a way for me to take agents that are new in the business, especially the young ones that are just
Yeah.
getting their license and like they're not, their direction in life is just starting.
Yeah.
And it's like building relationships is the number one thing you can do for any business you get
Yeah.
into.
Any.
So to see them young and start in real estate,
Yeah.
it really gives me that drive. So having the leads to be able to give them,
Is
but
is phenomenal, and
it
it's hard to
is,
find. We love teaching. Feed yourself, fish for yourself.
yes,
That's so important. But when you're just getting started or you're changing careers, it's so nice to have an idea that if I'm on a team, I have a leader to call and the oh shoot moments at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night.
right,
But all the way down to I'm gonna be handed a buyer client, being able to practice opening the doors, working with alongside Shannon or myself on offers and how does that look and negotiations. You're never alone, and
right.
real estate is not a solo sport anymore. It's been a team sport for a long time, and I feel like post COVID, it's like the only way to go anymore.
I would agree. There's power in numbers, and
Yes.
like that's what I was finding. So,
Yeah, that
which
is.
was a huge allure to coming here was that I saw that these teams kept growing and the collaboration kept
Yeah.
it's
We
on
it's
fire.
it's so
Yes.
cool. We talked the other day, and I can't even imagine that I would be building with some of the young kids that are in the group. Like we had our
They're
sales
my
meetings; they're
favorite.
the best. They have
I know.
one girl we loved last year came in and showed us all how to do like reels, like when
Yes.
the new reels came out, and we're like, how to teach this old lady how to do it.
Yes.
All the way down to we have an 18-year-old speaking the other day talking about how to find wholesale deals. I mean,
Right.
just amazing things you never thought this next gen would be doing,
Yes.
and it's cool that we get to lead them.
It's
I think
fun.
we find inspiration,
Yes.
and they're teaching us too.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
definitely a win-win environment by all means.
Yeah, and and what I've heard is when people come in, whether you're young or whether you're old, experienced or not, everyone's treated extremely fairly in the point of there's transparency all across the board. How are you going to get leads? How are you going to work? Where should I work? How do I make my money? And
Right.
everyone's willing to share.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. And we all do it differently. I always
Yeah.
say, like, I think the phrase, and I always get my phrases
Yeah.
wrong, but I think it's like there's a million different ways to skin a cat or
Yeah.
whatever it is. And it's like, that's exactly what I love about real estate. Like, we all do it a little bit differently, but
Yes.
the end game is to cater to our clients, build more
Yes.
relationships, and make people's dreams come true.
It's so true. And I feel like we as full-time professional realtors, it's been a it's been a hard industry the last couple of years. We had an in mass flux in 2020 of realtors going, "Oh, I can barely do some work and I can sell a house." And that did
That's
hurt.
not what we're about, though. And that's
No.
what's so, that part of our industry, like I had a great year that year. Like that's when I started to keep coming up and my
Yeah.
goals just kept changing and shifting and they were higher than I
Yeah.
ever dreamed possible.
Mhm.
But it wasn't the way that I like to do real estate as
Yes.
much because there was so many transactional
That's great. Mhm.
transactions. And
Mhm.
I'm more about having that
Mhm.
relationship
Yeah,
that kind
and
of gives you a little bit
we're
more.
advisors for life and we're brokers for life. We broker relations, we broker deals, and we're training from that top viewpoint. But what we saw in COVID were realtors telling clients to waive inspection, to take the
Right,
house as is with no repairs, and then
right.
clients are moving in and having mold issues and having to spend $10,000 to mitigate a problem that could have been done prior to.
That right there is why there's power in numbers
Yes.
because when you don't have multiple agents that are doing volume and that have had the experience
Yes.
giving you advice, you don't know what you're doing wrong. And
No.
so these agents were like, "Well, that's how I win the offer." No, I won every offer and I didn't have one client forego an inspection.
Inspection. It's
Right?
like the
There's
one
ways to
piece of
add.
leverage your prior client had, and to
Yes.
waive it so you can get a commission check at the end is mind
Right.
blowing. And I'm
Yes.
really glad. Obviously, our market has changed since
Right.
then, and we are just here to educate honestly
Yeah.
the realtors that want to be full time and do this as a profession. And honestly, the law changed with the NAR. We now have buyer agency agreements that basically, like lawyers, you have to engage with a buyer agent and you have to sign a contract to work with that agent. you and I have been doing those contracts for how before the law changed,
It
right?
just it wasn't an earth-shattering change
No.
or decision for us. In
No.
fact, it didn't adjust anything for me.
Nope.
In fact, it probably solidified that I made more money in
Yes.
certain situations
Yes.
than not.
Yes.
From someone that had offered a lower commission, I was already like, well, my contract says that I'm here.
Yes.
The thing is that I learned that my worth was, I needed to speak it
Yeah.
and I needed to show it. And
Mhm.
so I think before I didn't speak it as much, I didn't really share with them in
Yeah.
that I always did
Buyer
buyer,
consults.
yes.
Yes, me too.
But I did change and add some value there
Yeah.
to help them see like this is, and they do look at
They
you more
do.
as a professional now.
I agree.
And so it was a game changer for me. And
I
of course,
agree.
like at first, it was unsteady on my feet because I was thinking, okay, this might shift some of my agents. You know, my agents are newer a lot of
Yeah.
times. And so getting that idea in their head, like, I don't care if you've been doing this 1 day or 100 days
Nope.
or 100 years, like the opportunity is within being around people that if I don't know the answer, someone else does, and they're going to give it to me in a heartbeat.
And they're
Yeah.
indirect and immediate. And that's
Yes.
like real estate moves so quickly that if you're not part of a collective or a team, it's really scary to do this on your own.
It
And
is.
it's not we don't recommend it.
That's probably the biggest thing that I saw from COVID. And I think the
Yeah.
one thing that's hurt our industry is like I miss the agents in the office. I miss
Yes.
the collaboration. I miss having, you know, the power in the numbers.
Yep.
And so I see that all the time. And I talk to these agents and they're like, I didn't know about that or I didn't hear about
Yeah,
that.
it's
And like
scary.
being a part-time agent now, it shouldn't exist
Should
in
not
our
exist.
industry because there's
Nope.
too much change. There's too many things that go on,
Yep.
and there's things that I learn new all the time. Every week, I'm
Yes,
learning new things in
that's
real
right.
estate.
Me
I'm
too.
a 16-year veteran. I do a lot of business. There's not a lot of things that I haven't been involved in on
Right.
the residential side,
Right.
but I'm still learning. And if I wasn't around other people, or if someone didn't hear my conversation on the phone,
Yeah,
being like,
that's
"Hey,
right.
Shan, that changed," or like, "Did you know this?"
Mm-hmm.
I would never be able to grow and keep
That's so
moving.
well said. Just like with the Fishers change, with there's always changes in the ordinance. With
Yes.
the Fishers rental
Yes.
ordinance change, Shannon and I are both investors. We both invested in ourselves and our family and in generational wealth.
Yes.
We teach that from top down at Keller Williams Portfolio. And we just in the new year, you
Yes.
had to register your
Yes.
rental, right? So our text thread, which is off the chain,
Yeah.
amazing.
But I love it.
Right?
It's my
Some days
favorite. Yes.
it's like I need knowledge right now, boom. And some days like I got to go back and read that. What were they saying?
Yes.
It's just a really cool. I've heard that from men and women, old and new, young and experienced. Of like, whoa, just that knowledge bomb that they're dropping in and out when people need a quick help. For example, our lovely Dana selling her Geist waterfront day one. She drops in the chat a couple questions on the negotiations, and within seconds, Shauna, myself, a couple other people,
Multiple agents responded,
immediate.
and we all had different views. None of them were wrong. They were
Nope.
all right.
Yeah.
And it even made OGs like us,
Yes.
like she'll say something, I'm like, ooh, I didn't think of it that way.
Yep.
Or all like, okay, but what about, and it's just
Yeah,
a different
it's
way
refreshing.
of, yes.
It's refreshing to have be around big brains that have done it for a while, and it's also refreshing that people don't come with ego. And
Yeah.
it's awesome that Shannon, when you came over, and the momentum in a new year is always exciting,
Right.
anyways. You just got flooded with a bunch of listings.
Yeah.
And I hear you're in the office until like 9 o'clock the other night.
Leaving my car running
Oh yeah,
outside,
that
but
was
still,
so
yes.
great. I mean, been there, done that.
And
Mom brain doing too
yeah.
much, but you're in the office and you're like, I have this listing I just can't take on. And
Right.
I have 7, and I have this new one. It's a land listing, and we're texting, and you're like, oh wait,
He's in the office right now. Yeah.
I'm going to talk to him. And so on a Tuesday night, you
Right.
hand off a referral for a listing because somebody decided to come into the office
Yeah.
that day. And that is the beauty of officing in real
Right.
estate.
Yes.
But everyone wants to live in the cloud and be on a
Right.
Zoom and then be mad that they can't find any leads. Well, you can't find leads working in your parents' basement.
Exactly.
That's not where they're at. I
Right.
mean, not the type of leads that we want to cultivate and create, which is longevity
And no
and
one's
money.
sharing with these agents too when they get in. Like you can be very successful your first couple of years using your spear and everything else, but you do hit a hiccup.
It does fade.
Normally around 3 to like you're like, okay, I've exhausted these people.
Yeah,
Like
next.
I've got how do I and those conversations are what kills the agent from staying in the
Yes.
game. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
that's when you bet on yourself, you
Self
put
again.
everything forward and you start moving.
We have a lot of attrition issues in real estate, and that's
Yes.
mostly people not even believing in themselves. And I think it comes from just the back end of not having a culture or a place where they can get trained.
Yes.
Because when you don't know, go get a question asked.
Yeah.
Where do I ask the question? Who's the
Right.
trainer? Where do I go? Who? No one's in the office. I don't have an office. Like,
Right.
what? You don't have an
Yes.
office? And so real, I love that Keller Williams portfolio is interdependent. We have so many big brains, and we all have our own islands that we're running. But as a collective, we all come together once a week at least, and
It's a
then
pretty good
it's
nation.
a
I
really good.
love the
Yeah, I love
islands that
that.
we created a
It
nation
is.
with.
It is a
Yeah.
great nation, and Shannon and I are here to continue creating this airport, and we're looking for airplanes to grow off of us. Like we're doing this, building together and creating teams within Keller Williams portfolio, just honestly to give back because
I thrive off of it.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
you do this for so long, and like any job and any
Yeah.
career, which I don't consider this that. I mean,
Yeah.
this is just my lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
But your lifestyle changes. They talk about the midlife crisis. They talk about all these different stages
I
in
didn't
your
know
life.
that. Nope.
I'm like, I love real estate so much, but
Yeah.
I do need some variety and some change within there.
Yes.
I can't just continue to focus on and so I've found that in the agents, like
Yes.
helping them grow and getting their wins and seeing
Yes.
them, and then seeing them. I've produced a lot of agents out of my team that have gone on to flourish and go on their
Yeah.
own and
The best
be,
feeling.
oh my, and
The
they're
best
killer
feeling.
agents. And I just know that they come
Yeah.
from a place of contribution. They do the
Uh-huh.
right thing.
Yes.
They're well skilled and well trained,
Mhm.
and they're just going to continue to elevate our entire business.
They are. And I feel if you're an agent or realtor, broker out there in the Indianapolis metro and you're lonely,
And you don't have community.
you
Like that
don't
sense
have
of community is
community.
what has helped me grow my
We
entire
know
career.
that has helped us when we were young and growing up, and we didn't have a lot of it.
Right.
We're old ladies now,
Yeah.
but we have created something with our groups and our collective that shows that whether you're Earl and Kathy in their 60s or whether you're Cole at 19,
Yeah.
we're all sitting together on the
Right.
couch and we're all talking every week and
Yes.
helping each other. Cole's doing Earl and Kathy's luxury listing in Carmel and picking up leads that way at
Right.
19.
Yeah.
His first sale was off of an open house, and he made a great commission. I believe it was about $5,000 after working for a couple weeks, after leaning in for a
Right.
year, but working for a couple weeks with this client that we all coached and told him what to say, what the script,
Yeah.
how to close, and it was just a really special moment. And we have
Right.
so many examples of
Yes.
that, and that fills our cup.
Right.
And Shannon is part of her merger was I want to continue to grow bigger and coach and train. And what she loved about Keller Williams Portfolio is that we have monthly new agent training and monthly training. So whether you're new or newer to the business, it's a Monday through Friday training, and they also have it at night. So for those of us who are single moms or who can't
Whatever
get
it
there
may
during the
be.
day,
Yeah.
they have it online. They have
There's no excuse. We take the
no.
excuses out so that they can
That's right.
actually
That's right. They
succeed.
even have ADHD Ignite.
Yeah.
Our training
I
is
love it.
ADHD
I
Ignite.
know.
So we're shortening it down for the people who can't sit from over an hour in
I am
front
one of
the
those
screen.
people. Yes.
Amen. Like it's hard. But I mean, there's just really no excuse with how much resources and training we have
I
to
know.
not be successful. And I my very first or second year, I was at Century 21, and one of the top agents there, and I said, "Where's the training?" I was just
Yeah.
yearning, and coming
Well, and
from
coming from your
education,
teaching, yes.
I was just like, "Who's my teacher?
You're like,
Who's
this
my
isn't how this
mentor?
works. Yeah.
How do what?" And so all of my early experiences have shaped what we've built
Right.
here, and it's really empowering to see. But I remember the very first year at Century 21 Keystone, an agent who's still in the business says, if you want to learn, go to Keller Williams for a year. They have the best training. This is 2008, 2009, and then come right back. And I thought, what?
It's known across the country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
something that had been, well, look what you guys have done with Bold for years.
I know.
I
Bold
mean,
is amazing.
I guess not you guys anymore. I'm part of the team
Yeah,
now
you
too.
are.
So I guess look what
Bold-
we've done now.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bold will bring.
I've sent agents. I've paid for my own agents to go to
so
Bold out.
managing a high garden,
100%.
taking agents and sending them to Keller Williams
Yes.
Bold to find
Yes.
success.
Yes.
Yeah, it works.
100%.
It teaches you 100K in 90 days, build a pipeline, accountability.
That's one training we have out of all of them that we have.
And
like
they bring in high level accredited Keller Williams
Yes.
International coaches to do the Bold. They fly them in person.
Right.
Because it's all about community in person.
Yes.
We learn, we share energies in person. It's different than a Zoom.
And you build a stronger relationship that you can call that person across the country. Like some of my successes has been from people I've met. I worked at Remax for years, and when I was going to the conferences and meeting people from across the world that are doing it different than me in a different market.
Yes.
But those are the things that I picked up. like,
Yes.
having my resume and my bio and things that I kind of
All
started
that.
doing before a lot of other
Mhm.
agents were doing it and setting themselves apart.
Yeah.
I learned that from someone else. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
the
we
creator of the wheel on all these
no.
things, but I will take anything from anyone that's willing to share it with me.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Keller Williams is that we sponsor the brand. We aren't the brand.
Right.
And I love that their mindset is we want entrepreneurs who are always looking to better themselves and better the community around them. A win-win for all is really where it needs to be. Life is too short. Why are we arguing about a $250 plumbing
Yeah.
bill on a $800,000 sale?
Right.
Let's just break some bread and get to the closing
Yes.
table, and let's not let ego get in the way of a $250 issue. And that's kind of where like we teach and train from that aspect of the
Right.
psychology of making sure there's 27 stakeholders in a real estate transaction, all the way from title to contractors to lenders, and making sure everyone is kumbaya and on the same roller coaster and on the
Yes.
same page. The realtor kind of is shouldered with that
We're all
responsibility.
encompassing. We take on the
Yes,
most on, yes.
and we can't talk about it to our clients because it's a lot of moving parts and
Right.
back end details that we have to make smooth. So we show up for closing, everyone's smiling, and we take that photo. It was blood, sweat, and tears a lot of times to get there, and hiding some of that from your client. A real professional doesn't
Yes.
immerse their client into the background stress of inspections, of appraisals, of
Right.
issues. And so we train the psychology of the deal, the art of the deal, negotiations 101. That was our production training in the fall. And now we are talking about working on your work and working around your work. So we are so busy in this market right
That's a
now. We
key.
are working in our work. But on Tuesday, we're here every Tuesday at
Right.
Amazing Crosspoint, 9998 Crosspoint Boulevard. Anybody's welcome if you're a licensed realtor. We're here from 12 to 1 on Tuesdays. And what we did was we did a case study. So we had a client, a seller client, about to close, and the buyer shows up completely fraudulent. Everything on their end was basically a lie.
Nefarious. Yeah, it was none of it was
Yeah.
true, but it was one of the most skilled
Yes.
fraud I've looked at.
Yes.
We had multiple
That's right.
eyes of professionals on
A
that.
lawyer's
Yes.
a lawyer in the room
Yeah.
to analyze
Yes.
this case study. So when we talk about community, we are living, and like dissecting real life problems, challenges in production right now in real time, and then sharing it and
Right.
talking about it. Like, what would you have done? What would you have done? How did that happen? Why did that happen? Who did you call then? How was that next step? And everyone in the room, I mean, that
Everyone.
meeting
Yes.
stayed 25 minutes over because people were just immersed in like, well, what about this? Well, what about the earnest money check? Well, what about the wire?
What form do you use? The notice
Oh,
of
yes,
termination
that's
form.
right.
Like, I learned that day.
That's
I'm
so
like, wait a second.
cool.
In 16 years, I have not used this form.
Yes,
And
that's right.
yeah,
So there's
it's
a
just
notice of termination form that there's a couple items that if the buyer doesn't perform, that the seller can perform, can
a notice of termination. And it's mainly if they don't execute the earnest money
Money.
is one of the major reasons why you would use that
Yes.
that document. And like I'd always done a mutual release before because I hadn't had that exact situation. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is that
And what's
I
the
wouldn't have
coolest thing
known.
is that the mutual release requires two signatures, buyers and
Yes.
sellers, on two different mutual releases. Doesn't have to be the same. Side note.
That is a killer
We had a
fact in that.
fun fact
Yes.
on that on our
Yes.
meetings. But the notice only the seller has to sign.
Correct.
So all of a sudden, you are doing your seller.
You're just you're notifying them. That's it.
We're out.
Yeah.
And then the client could go back online.
Right.
Where many brokerages would say, we need mutual release and we need buyer and seller both signing.
Yes.
Depending on the situation,
Right.
obviously, that we dissect. But grew up going to these meetings, like wanting more,
Right.
wanting knowledge.
And the meetings not being prevalent to what you were dealing with in your everyday.
No.
What I love about us is that we do these live, everything's in real time. But then, okay, there's so many different specialized trainings that you can also attend in real life.
Oh yeah.
In Carmel over here. I mean, that are prevalent to what.
Yeah. Whatever your niche
Yes.
is in real estate. We love wholesale, we love investing, we love luxury. We really love basically a holistic approach to our money and to our clients' money. Because if we don't take care of our money, how are we taking care of our clients' money?
Right.
If we don't take care of our homes, how are we training them to take care of their homes?
Right.
It's just really important. I think that for us at Keller Williams Portfolio, on Tuesdays we have our case studies, and on Wednesday we have our corporate sales meeting, and on Thursdays, one Thursday a month, we have our free to all investment seminars.
Well, and we have one of our own, Dana, who
Yeah.
is an advocate for
Yeah.
training here at
She's
Keller Williams. I
amazing.
mean, what is
Yeah,
her
well,
title? The ACL.
yeah, and she's an agent leader consult. And
There
what
it
the
is.
cool thing was, Dana came from Century 21, guns blazing, just wanting knowledge, being a sponge, and we got to take her to family reunion, and we get to go in a
Yes,
month
I'm
to
so
family
excited.
reunion.
Yes.
Atlanta, here we come. Jay Shetty and who's our Gary Vee's our speaker. If you want
Yes.
to come with us, Shannon and I already got our flights booked. So
Yes. It will be a fun
we're
time.
really excited to learn and connect. And you might think, oh, it's a place. A lot of times, oh, real estate conferences are just go and mess off and like get away from family.
Yeah.
And like, no, this isn't. This
I'm
isn't
so
that.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this isn't that.
Yeah. I'm ready to go.
We're gonna go and get
Yeah.
inspired and learn and learn about all the things that are changing the macro market because they go big and then we go go
Right.
small into what we can offer here in Indy. But I think what's really cool is that we have that access. Most companies don't have these
Right.
large referral networks. Keller Williams is by agent count the number one by agent count brokerage in all. It's international.
Right.
We have Spain and we have Mexico, and so I just think to be able to tap into that network, especially when we're talking about luxury,
Right.
it's post COVID. I mean, the migration to the Midwest,
Yes.
the migration to space and land, we have that
Right.
here. We have
Yes.
affordable living. We're always top 10 and
Right.
Money Magazine for Fisher's Carmel. And I think that what Keller Williams Portfolio has really, we want to inspire that next gen to start buying now.